Yes, we can start
Okay, so now we are live. Okay, hello everyone, good afternoon, and I hope you're all having a great day today. So, first of all, a very warm welcome to our AMA session, and we are really excited to have you all here today. And a special welcome to our guest today, Mr. Rahul Joshi, who is the co founder and CEO at Techdome Solutions Private Limited. It's great to have you with us today here, sir, and we are truly excited for this session and appreciate you taking the time to join us today.
Thanks, Ruchi.
Okay, so before we begin, let me quickly introduce you and to the guests and to the audience who we are and what we do. So, Nadcab Labs is a leading blockchain-based development company, and we've been actively building in this space since 2017. So we provide end-to-end software development solutions, including crypto exchange development, DeFi platforms, custom blockchain development, Web3 applications, and more. And our focus is basically on helping businesses build scalable and future-ready technology solutions. So now that we have covered our introduction, I'll quickly introduce you to the team who will be joining us today. So we have Afzal here, who is the blockchain marketer. Anand is a Web3 enthusiast, and Shania is our crypto community manager. And I'm Ruchi, your host, and also a Web3 growth lead at Nadcab Labs. And before we dive into today's session, we would also like to hear a quick introduction from you also.
Sure. So I'm just a quick introduction. I'm Rahul. I run Techdome Group. So we are a AI-powered house helping out startups and enterprise develop their product. So we have helped out more than 40 products becoming live into the market in various Series A, Series B, Series C round. Personally, me, I'm like C4 certified, have enthusiasm in blockchain. Plus, I'm like a number one verified creator on Anitin. So we have helped over 2000 plus businesses getting live and automations with AI. So we are working with cutting edge AI and also working toward partnership with great like AI. Powerhouse like Claude and OpenAI, and helping businesses scale with those scalability and helping them scale along with blockchain and AI side.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So we'll quickly now move towards the session today, and I'll take the first question. So AI systems are evolving rapidly, and how would you describe this shift from traditional AI assistants to more autonomous AI agents, and why is this transition significant for the future of automation?
Yeah. So I think everyone in worlds are talking about that this is one of the legacy shift in AI which is happening. So before that, if I can compare anything like to this is the origin of internet, or I would say the steam engine. So those were those revolution which completely changed the industry. We had AI agents helps us in the past, which was like highly researched or like research capable or a good researchers, right? Now the shift is happening to the autonomous AI agents, or I would say agentic AI. So apart from researcher, they are becoming a digital AI employees for any of those companies. So rather than having those reactive approach, we are turning out towards a more proactive approach. So now the agentic AI system can take those decisions on behalf of you, depends on the situations, and can work and execute a task as good as an employee. So that's why we are calling them as digital employee. So this is a massive shift, and this is how it is changing out whole world and whole duration on how you are visualizing the technology.
I'm audible. Yeah,
Yeah.
my second question is from a technical and architectural standpoint, what core capabilities distinguish between the AI agents from the conventional automation tools and AI power assistants?
Yeah. So I think we have a very major shift in the technology side. Before to that, we just used to have research. It's gonna search whole internet, whole documents which has been done in AI, and it gives you the best results. But now with AI agents, we have the capability of reasoning. So they have the capability of reasoning the output. So once they search it, they can reason whether they are correct or not. Depends on that, they can do functional calling, and with the help of LLM, execute the complete workflow. So we kind of get that help from AI agents, that they can reason, they can plan the task, they can act on our behalf and take those decisions. decisions. So these are the major shifts that has happened in like few months within AI, which is helping out AI to scale and to take and make those decisions.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
So in your view, which industries or operational areas are currently experiencing the most meaningful impact from the adoption of AI-driven agents?
Yeah. So I think every industry is getting impacted, but I think the most which is getting impacted is the software industry. So you might be seeing 40 to 50% applications are now getting wipe coded and getting completely transformed. And I would say everyone who was at the level where they used to understand how the product needs to be built up, which require 3 to 6 months of time, can get delivered in 1 to 2 weeks of time. So, and a recent report shows that almost 46% of the enterprise code is now wipe coded. So I think the software industry is the one which is having the maximum effect, and then also other industries are having equal impact, like financial. The KYC is becoming autonomous. The decision making, healthcare, other another sectors, and the logistic and supply chain are also getting affected. But all of those linked to software are getting most the affected one.
Good afternoon. My question is, how do AI agents change the way organizations design and manage workflows compared to traditional rule-based automation systems?
Yeah. So I think before the AI era, I would say in the 25 or 24 to 26, how we used to see any AI agent or what people used to code was with if then and else loop. So either this or this, and they define the whole workflows. But now it has completely changed. So there is a complete cycle where the agents can take those decisions, plan it out, and move it. So how it works is you do plan, act, review, and reflect. So that's the whole concept of AI. So they first plan that what are our steps that needs to be planned out. Then you need to act on behalf of it. So you act after the planning. Then you take those decisions. You review that whether it is going correct or not. If any of those steps fail, it again goes to plan and optimize it. So if I would just take an example, I want to onboard a new employee within the organization. I would have a set of rules with if conditions in the traditional workflows that needs to be automated. But with AI, if I can say to my autonomous system that, okay, you need to onboard that employee, depends on its designations and understanding and reviewing our past data. It will do the background check. It can procure the depends on his designation and role, what laptop needs to be procured. So complete steps are plan, act, review, and reflect. Any of those steps fails, it can immediately go to the start of the step in the loop and then take those decisions. So how it has shifted from the traditional if and else loop where you just have 0 or 1 as the results, it has the capability to have those understanding and those emotional and even the steps, and then take the decisions on behalf of it.
Right. So the concept of agentic flows, as we say, is gaining traction in the AI ecosystem right now. So could you explain how such systems function and what advantages do they bring to complex multi-step processes? And if you could share some examples, that would be great.
Sure. So I think agentic workflows is shaping in the industries right now. So I would say these are multi-steps processes what execute. So every process, like as explained earlier, it would be plan, act, review, and reflect. These are the multi-step processes that gets execute. And how autonomous AI agents acts on behalf of it is they break down those statements into small tasks, small understanding, take care of those tasks, take those results, and now they have a long context memory as well. So if they are taking a decisions that needs to be used for another workflow, they can take those decisions. So very interesting, I was reading around one of the tool, and I think that kind of helps a lot in understanding the scenario. In any company, you review the vendor, you review the details, then place an order, review the transaction, verify the fraudulent transaction. This is a process which is very much occupied. It's very time consuming. Various consultants are involved, various data set is involved, various system is involved. Now with certain help of certain AI, you just plug into your system, it picks up the data, it determines what vendors needs to be picked up, understand the fraudulent details, and takes it ahead. So it does not do it on its whole, the complete process, but what it does, it breaks it down into multi-step process. So first, classifying a vendor is a process. It breaks it down into a particular step, then it completes it. Now it store that memory for the next agents to get executed. So it's a combination of multi-agents workflow which execute in steps. They can rotate in loops and take those decisions, which makes the whole system autonomous and intelligence to make ideal work, a workflow or a use case to be solved.
Deploying intelligent agents require more than powerful models. What kind of technological infrastructure and integration framework are essential for implementing AI agents at scale?
Yeah. So I think infrastructure is always been a problem when technological shift is there. I think from the blockchain side to AI, we used to consume a lot of GPU power for mining and doing those transactions. So we might have seen in the past that how much technology consumptions and power consumption is happening. Same with AI. I think AI is consuming a lot of power. Like more, a recent report shows that it is consuming power at a lot scale, which most of the developing countries are getting consumed, right? So I would suggest right now is a good time where a shift is happening, where you do not require so much amount of capacity to run an agent, but there are new ways which are getting introduced, like small language models. So how I am deploying for my clients, and I'm sure everyone might be working on the similar lines. You first take a decision, use a cloud provider like Civo, Azure, AWS, deploy a small instance for any of those models you want to test, verify the outcomes which are coming good, depend on the cloud provider before investing on the infrastructure, test your outputs, do the benchmarking of which model suits the best, understand those capabilities, because nowadays your problem can be solved by a small language model as well. You do not need to deploy a very big llama model, or you do not need to consume a lot of token from Claude and OpenAI and make those decisions. But if it is rightly used, even a small language model can give those results very effectively. So I would suggest brainstorm, do benchmarking through various cloud providers, understand your infrastructure and take those decisions, because shift is happening every day. Every day we are hearing a news that now there is a model which can run in just 9 GB space and on your Mac, and which can solve your problem. So those are the things which are important. So I would consider it that benchmarking on your scenarios and then determining the hardware infrastructure is an essential step to determine or develop any products.
So my next question is, within the software development lifecycle, where do you see AI agents creating the greatest transformation in coding, testing, system monitoring, or API management?
Yeah. So I think software in AI is helping out at every scale, not just developing, not just coding, developing or coding or testing or API management or QA, but even in deployment as well. So whole cycles are getting governed through AI and having the maximum impact. So the POCs, which might take 1 or 2 months of time, are getting done in a day or two of time. So development has become easy. But if we see a complete software development life cycle, it is very important to stand on how that flows. So we understand how SDLC would work, not just with development perspective, QA perspective, planning perspective. So I think for any software which is getting developed, coding is just the 15%. Rest 80 to 85% lies around how you're planning it, how you're QAing it, or what's your agenda and ultimate goal to achieve it, and how you'll keep it production ready. So all those steps are getting impacted through AI. So development has become really easy on how it is done. Next step was reviewing. So code review was another cycle which took a lot amount of time, with various tools and various mindset, like even Claude review or GitHub review or Copilot review. It's becoming very easy to review the pull request and understand the industry practices, and even write unit test case and integration test to verify those. And after that, QA cycle has become really autonomous. You can write complete agentic flows which can determine your use cases, automate those scenarios, and commit code on your behalf. And many researchers are working on creating, I think in next coming months it should be available soon, where an employee can manage, or a AI employee can manage your complete infrastructure with deployment and maintaining and fixing those production bug if user is getting. So I think that's the vision where it is lying down, and it is making those remarkable, uh, I would say, achievements. Like we had whole compiler of C coded by Claude which is very difficult for anyone to code. We are getting errors finding out in like 10 years old libraries within a fraction of seconds and getting it fixed. So I think it has affected all the complete software development life cycle as whole scale, and it is getting improvised to a scale where you just give the logic and it is giving you the output.
Okay. So coming to next question, as AI system gain greater autonomy and like executing task or the consideration, should organization keep in mind regarding the governance, security, and operation oversight?
Yeah, so I think AI, if I consider AI on the governance side, security side, these are very important aspects on AI side of it, because uh, with the greater innovations, I would always refer to those dialogue and Spider-Man, with greater innovation can become greater responsibility. So how you are using your AI also becomes a very big challenge, right? So you need to have those guardrails in place. So AI should not run on God mode. We always tell in our development language, it should run with least privileges. It should have human in the loop getting approved, and it should have those criterias or those block of code which will not get hindered with. So if you talk around the details, who might not know AI, it's becoming very difficult. So yesterday, one of the videos I was shooting around was Vercel leak. So Vercel got leaked with couple of lines of code, and then it hacked into the complete system. So as soon as you are getting into AI and using those system, it is gaining access to your privileged API access and keys. So you need to maintain that it should not run on God mode. You are able to secure all those keys. You are able to run those guardrails on making sure that you are not giving those biases which are running around. So all those steps would help you make sure that your complete AI infrastructure is secure.
Okay, one more thing, like how do you foresee the relationship between the human expertise and AI-driven system evolving as agent-based technologies becoming the more widely adopted?
Yeah. So I definitely see that human has a very greater role to play it. So it's not AI is replacing human job, it's AI is reshaping the human job. So as soon as we are getting those automations within the core jobs and getting those understanding, it comes a huge responsibility for everyone to reshape their job, reshape their careers, and how those things flow across. And human has a very good factor to play versus those AI results are getting high. So if I would say, for an example, now you're running an AI bot for running the financial transaction. Now the bot makes a fraudulent transactions or being fraud by someone. So who is responsible for it, right? So in the start point of time, we need to have those human in loop capabilities to do that and make sure that those things are handled properly. And I see a great importance of humans right now in the loop or in the validation side or even in the logic side to make sure that AI agents are able to execute the task which they are looking at. Because right now also hallucination is one of the important portions where AI agents get hallucinated and build absurd results. So for that, there is a pivotal role for humans to play uh, with their reshape career, with their upskilling on how they can make sure that things are running fine.
My next question is, many organizations experiment with AI but struggle to translate pilots into production systems. What key challenges or misconceptions often hinder the successful deployment of AI agents?
Yeah. So I think this is one of the very interesting thing which is happening in the market, where like non-technical founders are building complete websites and they're asking to make that live soon. So there's always that vibe coding misconception which is happening. So you can build the system would be running fine in certain set of scenarios, but building a production system, because AI can only develop what it can see. It is built on a set of data, and it is validating those certain scenarios which it can understand. But if I talk around the complete real world scenario, data is very noisy. So once those come into play, those production systems are meant to fail in case they occupy those edge cases scenario which are not being handled. But I would say from pilot to production is a huge challenge right now also for a couple of industries. Like you see in pilot, okay, this is working fine, but working that at 10 million people scale, 15 million scale, that needs to be looked at. So that needs to be worked upon along with vibe coding, with the experience in the industry on how that flows across, and that is a very pivotal and important roles on how it needs to be framed up. So from pilot to productions, you do have vibe coding to help you out in building those infrastructure, but majorly it's required to test those outcomes and test those things with the definitive solutions of like load testing and vulnerability scan to make sure that from pilot it runs to production. And if not, you need to have those human expertise climbed up along with vibe coding to make sure the system is scalable.
Okay, next question is, looking ahead, what technological advancement or ecosystem developments do you believe will accelerate the evolution of truly autonomous AI systems?
Yeah. So I think technology is evolving very fast. So right now we see every day things are coming up. So like just for example, for Claude, if I would say in last 52 days they have done 74 releases. So normally for any company at that scale, release become a weekly cycle. Now they are doing two per day and doing very big changes. So I say I would assume that the shift has become very fast. So not just on the development side of it, but on launching side of it as well. So I see edge computing, small language model covering out those scenarios with security, with guardrails, within infrastructure, within like a small scale company to large scale company. They can host the infrastructure, deploy those instances very fast. And I would say in near future, from the development perspective, I would say there would be a like a AI person who AI employee which can manage your infrastructure, fix those bugs for your customers, and give you the report while you are asleep. So those things would happen, and I think robotics would play a very great role and important role along with autonomous AI agents. Once it combines with humanoids, that's the future we would be looking at, which can even do the physical operations, and which is already happening. We are seeing the shift in a couple of events in the past where we have robot dancing, robot picking up the load. Those things are happening. So the AI intelligence combined with the physical machines to deliver those humanoids output and self intelligence are the next way or next pathway where the industry would align.
Okay, so as AI agents also begin to interact with other AI agents naturally, so across platforms, vendors, or even other organizations, how do you see the standards or the interoperability and agent to agent protocols, as we say, evolving, and what risks or opportunities does this create?
Yeah. So there's a huge opportunity on how AI agents communicate. We did had one platform where the platform was just for AI bots to talk around. So we also are seeing those things which are happening in the industry. And interoperability, I think there's no core concept as such, but if I would say how the past has led down and how we see the things happening, like between different communication channels or network as well, we had a single mode of communication. So some of those things are coming up like MCPs. Now people are developing their app MCPs like model context protocol to talk to each other, like how Claude is talking to Figma and make designs work, how Claude is talking to agents and making your digital avatar and releasing those videos. So this is one of the way which will get developed and more enhanced, where there are certain protocols getting developed which can talk to different machines, which can talk to different agents and make things happen. So this would come up, and I would say this would be evolving not just with certain companies or certain techs, but between different companies who would want to evolve and adapt AI and launch them. So this would become pretty common where they have interoperability of talking.
Okay. Uh, and many current AI agents also rely heavily on LLM reasoning, so which can be problematic also and error prone. So, what design patterns or safeguards like verification loops or tool constraints are emerging to ensure the relatability is in high stakes or like real world deployments?
Yeah. So I think for larger projects, what I have seen and what even we have developed is you just don't use one agent to do or handle the scenario, but you do have like multiple agents validating the scenario and coming to a consensus and working along, like how it's used to work in blockchain with more than 51% agreeing to a chain, and then we accept those transactions. So it is having a shift during that direction where we have those multiple agents answering those, but we do have the problem of prompt injection and even LLM like getting hallucinated and giving those abrupt answer. But those needs to be improvised with guardrails. So guardrails, and we would occupy, if you're using a fine tuning model, try to if you're using an open source model, try to fine tune the data, use certain example like LoRa, and adopt those strategies to make sure the answer which is coming from your LLM is coming to the mark of your use case and problem statement that you'll be looking at. Because currently LLM is trained on general data, it's able to accept and prove all the scenarios which is happening up. But if you're solving core problem within your industry, I would recommend using and training the data which you already have enriched with to the LLM model, so it would hallucinate less and it would be giving more better answer. So first thing would be benchmarking. Next thing would be having multiple LLMs to give those answers. Then fine tuning those LLMs on the open source of side of it to avoid hallucination and adapt those scenarios.
Okay, so we are coming towards the end of this session. So before we wrap up, one final question I'd like to ask. For founders, engineers, and enterprises who are seeking to stay ahead of this shift, what strategic steps should they begin taking today to prepare for an agent-driven digital infrastructure?
Yeah. So I would say for any startup founders or whoever are looking to start their like venture, or who are already in venture and they want to scale, first thing is they need to standardize the data. So how good is your data is best is your AI. Your AI is as good as how your logics, right? So you need to standardize your data, standardize your action, and then take those decision. Identify the bottlenecks. So don't accept those bottlenecks, but try to fine tune it to a level where it is able to handle maximum of the scenarios. So AI can handle almost all the scenarios which are there. So you can take those measures in training your LLM, stop hallucinating and removing those bottlenecks. And once these things are done, once you have standardized the data, identifies the blockchain, then you should have a human in loop to identify those edge cases scenario which can be covered up easily with which is not identified with AI, rather than having those human in the loop to identify those scenarios and carry along.
Okay, and with that, we come to the end of today's session. So, thank you so much for all the insightful answers, and thank you to everyone who joined us today. We hope you found the session helpful and valuable. And once again, thank you to